So now we have stamps that coordinate with all of our different lines. So this clematis coordinates with Beaujardin. These two coordinate with the different Christmas line, and this one as well as the Retro Metro line, and some fun little borders. These stamps shown are true to size. We also have a new kit of stamps. This one, the example is Christmas. If you look right here, this is the size of an A2 card right here. So you can mix and match any of these borders to go along that strip. You can switch any of these with this. You can switch this one with this, and you can make an entire A2 card and stamp it all at once for a Christmas card. So everything you need to make the card is in this kit. And they all coordinate and mix and match with the proper sentiments and the artwork. That one's classic Christmas, there's whimsical Christmas. And this one is spring, simply spring. Okay. Fun card stuff. Okay, let's see if this is done. Good, it's done. Ready?
Okay.
So Tinker Ink has a new product called Beadles. And what we're gonna do is make a bead just like shown on my necklace right here.
Ooh.
These are die cuts. Here's how they come. And you punch them out, roll them up, and then you can cover them with embossing powder if you want, or you don't have to cover them with embossing powder, you can just leave them paper. So let me show you how to do this. You simply punch out the die cut. So we're gonna make a bead that's shaped fat on the ends and skinny in the middle, a little bit like a barbell. So I've taken that die cut shape out, and then you just wanna roll it around something so that you get that perfect shape. Now, I'm gonna do a fat cylinder because I want my bead to be kind of fat and chunky and funky. But if you wanted to, you could roll it around a pencil or even a toothpick, anything you wanted. Keep in mind, whatever you're gonna use the bead for, you're gonna wanna string it. So if you want it to string it like on a big piece of chiffon fabric and tie a bow with it, then of course you want a fatter inside. So now that you've got these two little ends left, you just want to put some adhesive on those ends. Any kind of adhesive will work. And now we've completed that bead, so you just want to slide it off. So as you can see, this is quite a large opening because I'm going to thread it onto a big piece of kind of fluffy fabric and tie it on my wrist for a cute bracelet. Or I might tie it on your wrist for a cute bracelet. I'll get a volunteer wrist. Anyway, so now you've got that done and you can see those little ends right there. You just want to make sure that those are totally dry. The glue is totally dry before you enamel it. We are using ultra thick embossing enamel, which is also known as UD, that's made by Ranger. It's Suze Weinberg's product. And there's two different ways you can do this. Today we're going to show you the Ranger melting pot. So we have poured this embossing enamel powder into the melting pot and just let it melt down a little bit so it's like coating your paper bead with its own enamel coating. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use this tool, and it's really important because you don't want this tool to stick to your embossing powder. This is a hemostat, but you can use any kind of tweezers. We're going to use the Distress Embossing Ink by Tim Holtz. It smells so good. It smells like Christmas. And you just want to get your tool kind of covered in it so that it doesn't stick to the embossing liquid. And then pick up your bead. And the easiest way, one of the things that's important to know about the melting pot is you don't want to stir anything around or go crazy in here because it will create little bubbles like that one. I don't know if you can see. There's a little bubble in there. So the easiest way is to just do one whole action and roll that around and kind of roll it up the side. Now can you see how there's like little bubbles and drips on that? We want that bead, see there's a bubble, we want that bead to be totally covered kind of like an enamel coating. So I'm going to put it down on our mat. This is also a Ranger product. This is their craft working sheet and it's Teflon, and so nothing will burn it. Everything will peel right off of it. So you can see we've got, you know, a little bit of a goof, right? And then we're going to take this right off. So we're going to now grab it from the other end in a new place, and we're going to swipe it right through again. So we get a really good coating on this bead. Now that that's totally coated, and if you feel like you have excess, you can just wipe it on the side of the melting pot because it's the hot metal. So I'm going to stand it up again on the sheet. And then as soon as that's dry, we're going to pick it up again and just hit it with the heat tool. So this little part right here that is kind of right there, we're just going to break that off and kind of finish it up with the heat tool, make it all pretty and beautiful. Now while that's drying, let me show you another way to do this. If you don't have the Ranger melting pot and you still want to make these beads, and you don't want to leave them paper, you want to take it a step further and enamel them, we're going to do another bead here. We're going to roll it up really quickly. We're going to do the adhesive again. And slide it off. Now here's the next easy way to do it. You roll this in your ink. Now for instance, if I was going to make one of the black and white beetles, I could use a colored ink to roll it in if I wanted, and the black would stay true, and then I'd be able to color my bead any color I wanted. And there's some examples. I have a little bit of the embossing powder here in the Tupperware. And you just want to roll your bead so that you get a good coating, and then throw it in there. Get it all coated, kind of like, you know, breading fried chicken. So now you've got a good coating on that, and you just want to hit that with the heat gun. So I'm going to turn on the heat gun here, and you'll be able to see that slowly it's going to give it an enamel coating. There, now can you see that starting to turn and get glossy? I'm going to move it a little bit to the center here and hold it over my mat in case any of it drips off, and it keeps my workspace clean. There you go, that's one coat. You can do as many coats as you want if you want to have a bigger, more chunky, funky looking bead. This bead now, see all that great coating on there is a little bit more funky. I'm just going to pull off that little extra piece. It can go back in the melting pot so there's no waste. That's a great thing about the melting pot. And I'm going to stick my tweezers in here. And I'm just going to tidy up this bead, and then we're going to string it on a little piece of chiffon fabric and tie it on a wrist and make it all a cute accessory. Now sometimes when you're using the melting pot, the end of your bead you can fill up with this ultra thick embossing enamel. You can see right there. All you have to do is hit that with the heat gun and it'll open it up. I have to angle it a little bit differently. See how you can see it dripping onto the mat? That's going to give me an opening to be able to string that bead. There you go. There's another bubble. And I like to kind of continuously turn it while it's drying, just so you get an even coating. Now we're going to string it on the little piece of fabric and make it into a cute bracelet.
Wrist.
Yeah, I need a volunteer wrist. Here you go. So I'm just going to put a pretty little piece of shimmering chiffon through here. Make sure your bead's cool so you don't burn your wrist. This one's still a little warm. Is that too hot? Okay.
So cute, it's going to mold in my hand.
So this is a really cute bracelet to make. It's a fun project. It's quick and easy. It's a great mother-daughter project, great girls' night out project. Tie a little knot, and then trim the little ends on an angle. And voila, you have a funky, cute little bracelet by Tinkering Ink. Beadles, gotta love it.